Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For this piano tutorial, we'll be learning the song You Deserve It. And like in my other videos, what we are going to try to do is basically show you guys different substitutions and passing chords that you can learn not only for this song, but you can learn how to apply them into other songs, all right? So this song is in F sharp major, and the basic chords are really easy to learn. It starts off on the 4. My hallelujah belongs, then a 5 chord, and then a 6 chord to you. It returns to the 4 chord, belongs, 5, and then 1. Right? That's the first part of the song. Then it does a melodic progression that I'll get into later. So instead of just playing a regular 4 chord, let's try to add different extensions to spice up the color of this chord, all right? So let's add this 3rd, this 6. Let's substitute the 1 or the 8 for a major 7th. Let's add this 9th. We keep this 3 and add the 5, all right? So it sounds like this. My hallelujah. You see? So it sounds a little bit more advanced, if you want to call it that. My hallelujah belongs to you. Right? Then it goes into a 5 before the 6. And although this is the correct way, obviously, to play the actual song, we can experiment a little bit between these two chords. Instead of going from a 4 to a 5 to a 6, we can think of another chord that can serve as a substitution for that 5 before the 6. So we can do something like this. My hallelujah belongs to you. See? So in here, instead of playing 5, 6, I played a diminished or a sharp 5 diminished or flat 6 diminished, whatever's the correct way to call it. Basically a D diminished 7th. And as I've explained in other videos, a diminished chord is easily formed by going up 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. All right. So my hallelujah belongs to you. And we can play around with the 6th chord. We know that it's a E flat minor, but let's switch up the voicing so that it creates that dissonance that most of us like to hear. So instead of playing like a E flat minor 11 or E flat minor 7, let's play something like this. It's a E flat minor 9, but the way that is voiced is basically as if we were playing a E flat minor along with a B flat minor, right? And instead of playing this B flat, I substituted for A flat. So belongs to you. All right. Now we know that it goes back to the 4. So let's do a passing chord. I use this all the time. It's a 9-13 chord. So a F sharp with the minor 7th, the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9. And I like doing that grace note. And then we're back into the 4. Belongs to you. Here, instead of going from a 4 to a 5 to a 1, I did a 4, then a 7, which is basically a 5, but it's a 5 over 7, so it's voiced differently, to you. Then we land on the 1. And for the 1, I'm just playing a add 2. All right. Then we get into this melodic progression, which sounds like this. Right? It basically plays a 2, 1, 6, 3. And then it goes back into the 4. But we can also play around with this progression to switch it up if we want and learn different things. So we can do something like this. We can use that chord that we learned previously before the 4 and incorporate it into the same progression. Or, right? 2, 1, 6, then a 1, then we're back on that 4. Belongs to you. Again, different voicings. Right, so you might have heard something that I did differently there. When we were on the 6th chord, what I did was, instead of staying stagnant on that 6th chord, I played around with different progressions that lead me back into the 6th chord. Since that 6th chord stays there for a longer amount of time than the other chords, I did something like this. My hallelujah belongs to you. I did this. So I basically played a B flat minor 9, or an easier way to think about it, I played a A flat over B flat. So basically a sus chord, a B flat sus chord, and then a E flat minor 9 chord, or a C sharp over E flat, another sus chord. All right. So my hallelujah belongs to you. Alright, so let's go into the chorus of the song. Later on, I'll play through the whole song at a slower pace. That way you can slow down the video and catch them extra chords, alright? So this chorus is pretty easy. Again, the basic chords are 4, 1. So B flat, F sharp, then a 4, then a 5. Right? B, C sharp, B, F sharp. Alright, that's basically the whole chorus. So something that we can do to switch it up is substitute chords once again. A good substitution for the 4 chord, sometimes it's the 2 or the 6. Obviously voiced in a way that it still sounds like a 4, but it's totally up to you guys. So let's try that. You deserve it. You deserve it. See, so right there I incorporated both types of chords. I incorporated a 2 chord, which is a A flat minor 9 in this case, or you can also incorporate the 6th chord, which is a B major over 6, right? B major 7 over 6. So you deserve it. You deserve it. Here you can also, instead of playing a 4 to a 5, you can do from that 6 to a 7, which is basically a 5 over 7. Here I'm incorporating the original chord with the substitutions, all right? Again, doing that same progression that we learned before, this one. before the 4. So different types of ways that we can incorporate these substitutions. Again, something that it's very important to also keep in mind is that we can also play around with the rhythm of the chords that we play. We don't have to play strictly on the beat. We can play around with the rhythm as well as the harmony to switch up the way a song sounds. All right. So right now, what I'm going to do is basically play through the whole song, so that you can catch any new chords that I throw in there. Right.